Well, hello. Hey, y'all. My name is Carrie, and I'd like to welcome you. Today, I'm going to be talking about my weight loss journey. And as you can see from the title, I did have a vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I think that's how you say it. Anyhow, I did have weight loss surgery, and just want to talk a little bit about that and talk about my journey and see how things have been and are going. Okay, so I invite you to keep on watching. First things first, I am your typical weight loss surgery story, your typical weight loss struggling story. I struggled with weight loss my whole life. My weight, I should say, my whole life. I was always a chunky kid, and I never really liked the way that I look. I was teased in school and stuff like that. Although I had a lot of friends, I think they thought of me as the chunky girl, which that's fine, that's okay. And I learned how to wrap my identity up in that. And before this surgery, I did not realize how much of that weighed me down wasn't really weight. It was how I identified as myself, as a heavy person. So anyhow, I am 41 years old. I am a mom of teen girls. I am a wife. I was raised in a pastor's home. I sang, still sing, and some of you might know me from singing, but just always identified as the heavy girl, the chunky girl who could sing. And I was never really okay with that, but hey, that was me. I went with it. Anyhow, had my two daughters and just struggled and struggled and struggled. I struggled with energy. I struggled with food addiction. I struggled with binge eating. I struggled with grazing, what I like to call grazing, that, you just open up the cabinet and you're just sitting there looking for something to eat out of boredom or because you're upset. I was an emotional eater, and all that stuff. And your typical, person who struggles with their weight. You're going to hear my dogs in the background. I have 4 because I'm an animal lover. So please excuse. Anyhow, I decided just under a year ago, this is 2021 in August, I decided just under a year ago that I would have weight loss surgery. I knew several people who had it and were very successful at it. And God is so good how he works out his timing. He knew that before this time I was not ready mentally, because I was still identifying myself as a heavy person. I still wasn't ready to let go of that. And let me back up a little bit. I went through 3.5 years of really hardcore therapy. And of course, with the help of the Lord and my therapist, I learned that that's not who I am. That's not who I am. I'm a mom. I am a wife. I am a worshiper. I'm a Christian. I am a singer. I'm a musician. I'm a creative person. And I was letting my weight define me. And after the therapy, I knew I was ready. I really didn't know how ready I was until I actually had the surgery. So I called around a few places. I actually live in Ohio, and I knew I was going to have to pay out of pocket. And I knew that I didn't want to have to take out a loan for a house or a car to pay for this surgery. But I also knew that it was vital for me because I wasn't I wasn't even present in my life. I wasn't even present with my kids. I wasn't present with my husband. I wasn't present, with anything. I just kind of just was just there. And so I found a place out in Las Vegas, Nevada, called Blossom Bariatrics. And I was really impressed with them because they had this, what they called this, a fast track program, to where you didn't have to go through, especially if you were paying cash, you didn't have to go through all of the hoops and all that stuff. Because normally when you go through insurance, they require you to go through jump through all of these hoops, like, psychiatric evaluations, and you have to lose 90 pounds before they'll approve it. And you have to have a certain BMI, and you have to have a certain, cholesterol and blood pressure and blah, 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 blah. And I know myself, and I knew that I couldn't wait that long. So I knew that I had to pay cash, and I knew that I had to go through with it while I was in the mood, and while I had already talked myself into going through with it. So I called in October after researching them for a couple of months. I called in October and talked to the lady on the phone. And she was super nice. She asked me all these questions and basically told me that I qualified for the surgery. And so we went on ahead and scheduled it. I put my deposit down, which was I think it was a $500 deposit. And my surgery wasn't scheduled until January 8th. And it's October. I was so bummed that it wasn't going to happen fast. But looking back, hindsight is always 20/20. Looking back, it was just a last hurrah, if you will, of me eating whatever I wanted. From October till I started my pre-op diet on December 23rd, I ate whatever I wanted, how much I wanted, whenever I wanted. I mean, I packed it in. And I knew this would be my last chance. I was mentally preparing myself that this would be my last opportunity to eat that way. And I knew after I got the surgery, I was going all in, 1000%. I was committing to this, and I was doing it. And I knew that the last couple of months before my surgery was going to be just hammer down and do it. And so I went all in. I went all in on eating. I mean, I ate whatever I wanted to. In those 2 months before my surgery, I gained like 30 pounds. Right? You're thinking, oh my gosh, wow, 30 pounds, that's a lot. Yeah, I'm telling you, I ate like a man. So I thought, this is it. After this, it's no more. I am dedicating my life to my health and to making sure that I follow through with this program. And that's exactly what I did. So fast forward to December 23rd, I started my pre-op diet. And I started it early. I didn't have to start it I started 4 days early, I think. And I just made a decision in my mind that I was once I said goodbye to the old Carrie on December 23rd, she was never coming back. That was like a Christmas present to myself. So I started my pre-op diet, and that was a liquid diet. And I had protein shakes, and I did it right. I followed it to a T. I did everything I was supposed to do. And on January the 5th, my husband and I flew into Las Vegas, and I had my first appointment on January 6th. And that was like my first initial appointment where they, introduced me to the program. And I think they wanted to talk to me. I think they want to talk to their patients, the first day to see if they're really mentally prepared. And I was so prepared. I was so excited. I was very nervous. because I was expecting it to be super painful, and we'll get to that in a second. But my mom was so awesome. She came and stayed with our girls, and I didn't have to worry about my girls while I was there, because I knew they were in safe hands, and she would crack the whip, and whip them into shape if I needed her to. But they're good kids. But anyhow, January 6th, I had my appointment with them, and then January 7th, I had several things going on. I went over and had an EGD, which an EGD is where they take the camera and go down your throat. And I found out I had a very big hiatal hernia. If you don't know what a hiatal hernia is, go look it up, Google it, WebMD it. It causes lots and lots of heartburn. I was in the highest dose of heartburn, prescription heartburn medicine you could get, because my heartburn was so bad. As a singer, it's terrible to have heartburn, or like a speaker, if you speak a lot or if you sing or whatever, it's awful to have heartburn. It causes hoarseness, and it can cause what feels like blisters on your vocal cords. And I had all that happening to me, especially after I had gained that extra 30 pounds, because I was just abusing my body, because I knew it was my last opportunity to do that. So anyhow, I go to see the doctor. First I did the EGD, then I did an EKG. No, EGD, then I did a stress test where you have to walk real fast on the treadmill. Now, mind you, I was 30 pounds heavier than I was used to being. So, I was struggling through that stress test. Struggling. So after all that, I saw the doctor, and he told me about the hiatal hernia, and they put a port in my arm so that they could do, blood work and all that stuff, which they did labs that day too. They drew labs that day too. And then on the 8th, I went in for surgery, and my surgery was at 12 o'clock. I was out by 1 o'clock, walking around, up walking. And I even asked him, I said, did you guys do the surgery? Because only thing I felt was real groggy, and I just felt like my stomach felt real full. But yeah, they did the surgery. And let me say a couple of things about Blossom Bariatrics. Oh my God. They are top-notch, classy, a multi-million-dollar facilities. I went to 2 different facilities. They had a car service pick me up for all my appointments, take me back to the hotel for all my appointments. All of the drivers that I met were super nice. I just had I can't brag on them enough. It was amazing. And here's what sealed the deal for me. After my surgery, I was up walking around for a little while. Then the driver came and got me, took me back to my hotel room. And I just slept for about 6 hours. And then a nurse came in and gave me the IV therapy that they offer 6 hours after your surgery. And it had, all kinds of stuff in it, a little bit of pain medicine, I don't know what kind of cocktail was in there, but I felt so much better after I had that. And really, honestly, thinking back, I really didn't have any pain. Only thing I had was gas pain, because, they fill you up with air. And so then I went again the next morning on the 9th to have more IV therapy. And it was even better that day. And then on the 10th, we flew back to Columbus. Yes, 2 days after my surgery, we flew back to Columbus. They sent me home with some of those compression things that you have in the hospital when you have like a C-section or any kind of surgery that they squeeze and they go, I don't even know what they're called. But anyways, I had those. I had a letter that I handed to the flight attendants, and, you know, they would sit me in the front. I got to, you know, board early and all that stuff. And I had to keep them on the whole time I was flying. And we did have a layover in, I believe it was Atlanta, and it was only maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And the whole time I was sipping, trying to get in my water. And I got home and it was just, the whole experience was amazing. I wanted to touch on that a little bit. There's so much more detail I could go into, but that's for another video. However, what I do want to touch on is my results. So I went in weighing my pre-op diet. Beginning of my pre-op diet, I weighed in at 280, the highest I've ever weighed, ever. When I went in for my surgery, I weighed 269. So I lost 11 pounds in 2.5 weeks on my pre-op diet, which, by the way, he did let me have a cheat meal the night before my surgery. So we ate at this really wonderful Italian restaurant. It was great. It almost made me sick because I had been on a pre-op diet for 2 weeks. However, I did lose the 11 pounds on the pre-op diet. And now here it is, almost 7 months out, and I have lost 69 pounds. 69 pounds. I've stuck with it. Yes, I've had stalls. You're going to have stalls. Yes, I have missed, you know, eating like I used to. But it's very, very mental. This journey is very, very mental. And I've learned how to listen to my body. I don't really feel hunger pains. But I know when I need to eat. I try to get in my water every single day, and I try to get in my protein every single day. And I'm so committed. I haven't really started hardcore working out yet. Just because I really want to focus and make sure that I'm mentally prepared to add that in. And sitting here today, I'm at 69 pounds. I went from a size 22 to I am in a 14, almost a 12. I went from like a 3X, 2X, 3X, because I'm only I'm almost 5'3". So I went from a 2X, 3X, and now I'm into a larger extra large. I don't really have that much excess skin yet. I do have, I'd say, probably 50 more pounds to lose. I'd like to lose 50 more pounds. But I could not be happier with my results. I wish I would have done it 10 years ago. However, I do understand that I wasn't mentally ready for it 10 years ago. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my journey. I will be getting into more detail in future videos. On this channel, you might see, you know, makeup, you might see recipes, you might see other things that I'm doing. As a person who is on a journey, losing weight, and really finding myself again. And if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it, give me a thumbs up, blah, 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 all of that. Yay. If you have any questions, please, please, please put them in the comments, and I will try my best to answer each and every one. And there's some info for you in the description box. And I'm so glad that you joined me today. And I'm really grateful that you are interested in my journey. And my biggest hope is that maybe my testimony will help you in some way. And I wish you all the best. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So that's pretty much it. Bless you. And I will talk to you soon.